All right, let's see if we can get this thing working. This is Hypersyntax for Video Game Crosstalk, and we're going to take a look at the Season of the Chosen trailer. Now, this trailer was just released recently, and we are in the final days of the Season of the Hunt. And Bungie just released this trailer for us to take a look at for the upcoming season and what to expect from it. So we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to break down what I can, and let's see what we got in store for the upcoming months. Okay, yeah, so the Hive God was driven back, and that would be referring to Zevarath. And if you have been reading the web lore, you know exactly what we're talking about. This is the entire purpose, or was the entire purpose, of the Wrathborn hunts. So Zevarath has been dropping these giant spires onto various locations and trying to corrupt in her own way various other races to come fight alongside her. And obviously unsuccessful so far. We were ultimately able to defeat her High Celebrant, but there's still more to be done with Zevarath. You gotta understand, she's not exactly a seasonal baddie. Yeah, there's no way we're done with her. So Zevarath was one of the original 3 sisters of the Hive Gods back in the Books of Sorrow that was released during the Taken King expansion all the way back in Destiny 1. And her original name was Zyro until she took upon the worm larva from the the worm gods, Akka, Zol, Ir, or Zol, and took on the Night Morph and became Zevarath. Now, Zevarath is the aspect of war. So all of the Hive Gods have their own nature about them, and they must stay true to their nature lest their worm consume them from the inside. And with Oryx, who we defeated in the Taken King expansion, his purpose was to understand everything. So in order to sate his worm, he must always be learning, always trying to understand. Sathona, who became Savathun, is the aspect of cunning, so trickery, lying, deception. So every time someone misunderstands or misinterprets one of the messages from Savathun, that's how she serves her purpose. So that's why everything about Savathun is just cloaked and veiled in lies and half-truths, if there's any truth to them at all. And then there's Zevarath, like I mentioned, who's the aspect of war. Yeah, so she has to keep going throughout the galaxy or the universe, destroying everything. Wherever there is war, that is where Zevarath will be. And in the vanilla campaign of Destiny 2, when it was first launched, is the Red War. And there's been a lot of war in the Sol system, mainly from Hutt's Guardians. And now that the darkness has arrived, it's just power clashes, power struggles on every planet all over the place. So yeah, of course Zevarath is going to make her way to the Sol system. It's just obvious. And being one of the original 3 Hive Gods, way more than just a seasonal baddie. Way more to be expected from Zevarath. So definitely not done with her just yet. Well, of course, a new threat emerges. That's the whole purpose of these seasons, right? And personally, I'm really enjoying the way that the story of Destiny and Destiny universe is being told with this seasonal content. Because in the early days of Destiny 1, it was just whatever happened during an expansion, that was the new story that you got. We occasionally got a limited time event like Iron Banner or something else, but that's about it. There was no story development between major releases and expansions. So now that we have these seasonal contents, seasonal drops, it keeps the story moving a little bit every few months, a little bit at a time. But that allows us to be introduced to new characters and allows us to actually close the books on some other stories. It allows completion and resolution of other side and ancillary stories being told. So Well, of course, there's going to be a new threat because that's the whole purpose of playing this game in the seasons.
The darkness crowds the edges of this system.
Yeah, of course it does. And we're fully aware of that. Not only are we aware that the darkness is, it's more than just cramping the edges of the system, we're engaging with it. And we're not just engaging with it, we're wielding it. And in this scene, we see a new Cabal leader, and flanked by two high-ranking guards, as you can tell by their uniforms. And this Cabal in particular, what is interesting to me is the headdress is very different and very unique to this individual. And this individual's mask, I'm assuming it's their mask, has tusks, which is something that we have not seen yet. We've joked about the Cabal being giant space turtles or space rhinos, but we haven't really embraced the animalistic aspect of it all that much. So interesting to see that this one has tusks on their helmet or face mask.
The Hive serves it.
Okay, now we're getting a little bit, we're getting into the story development. So we have Zavala and Osiris, and finally we're looking back on this one scene that was only briefly shown during the introduction trailer for Beyond Light, where we have these two talking with the Cabal, and as many people guess that we're going to form an alliance with them, which makes sense because the darkness and the light are above and beyond any of the known gods that we have interacted with. So they're even higher than the worm gods, definitely higher than the hive gods, higher than Mara, sorry Mara, but these forces, these entities are on a much larger galactic existential scale. So for us to defeat the darkness, if that's ultimately the direction that Bungie is taking us with the World of Destiny, we're not going to be able to defeat it on our own. We're definitely going to have to form alliances like we're currently doing with the Elixni, with Misrax and the House of Light. So teaming up with the Cabal, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
You'll fall to one, if not the other.
Right. So again, it's the Hive serve the darkness. We can't fight both the Hive and the darkness at the same time, so we need to team up. Cool. Makes sense.
I propose an alliance.
So we can already see that Zavala and Osiris are wary of this, but like I said, it makes sense for us to team up. Yeah, we can do much on our own. I mean, let's face it, we're god killers. We have destroyed pretty much everything sent our way. We've taken down one of the hive gods as Oryx. We tracked down Oryx into his dreadnought, into his own personal throne world, and defeated him when he was most powerful. We've taken down all sorts of gods and beings and all sorts of madness. I mean, we were able to board the Almighty. Gaul transformed into an entity of pure dripping light, I guess, and we were still able to take him down. So yeah, we're super powerful, definitely wary of forming alliances, but, let's see what happens.
With my army and your light, the Cabal will crush the Hive.
You mean we will crush the Hive, not the Cabal will crush the Hive, right? I mean, we're known as god killers. You know that, right? Right?
Bow.
No.
No.
Okay, hold up there. Hold up. After everything that we've done, you know who we are. That's why you came to us. All right, this is something that happens in the corporate world every once in a while, where you're trying to network and work some deals through, and someone comes to you, right? They come to you asking for your help or to team up on something, and then they just propose this ridiculous offer where it's like, we should totally work together. Our strengths, align properly so that we can take on this huge task, and you're going to report to me. And you just go, wait, what? You're going to give me the shaft end of a deal? You came to me, and then you're going to belittle me like that? No, that's not how this works. And a handful, I'm guessing they're scions, right? In the back with the laser sniper sights. A handful of scions, a couple of royal guards, and one boss entity. I mean, no, that's not going to be enough to stop us.
Empress Caiatl has emerged as the new face of their empire. And
all right, so now we have the name Caiatl. That, I believe, is I want to say the daughter of Gaul. And she apparently now has taken control of the Red Legion. I believe that's how it's all working out. By all means, correct me in the comments. I do not take corrections personally. If I'm giving false information, please let me know so I can correct myself and we can all learn together. Caiatl was also referenced in the heavy machine gun that we got from Grandma Ava a few seasons back as one of the exotic rewards for the seasonal content. So we know who she is. We know a little bit about her. So now she's made her appearance known. She's made her presence known, and she's trying to work with the Vanguard.
demanded I pledge loyalty to her.
Let's back up just a second. Take a look at this armor. Back up just a little.
Demanded I pledge loyalty.
So this is kind of cool. This is a very different style of armor, and it looks almost Middle Eastern, almost like Persian in a way, a little bit. And this is really cool because typically we see a lot of fantasy armor based off of, let's be honest, being English speaking. In the U.S., we are very Eurocentric. English-speaking cultures are very, ethnocentric. We develop what we know, we write about what we know, but it really dominates the fantasy genre for Western European fantasy and those types of references. So to see different cultures represented in the game is really cool to see because, selfishly, it gives me something different. It gives us something different to look at and to explore. So seeing this style of armor come through, it's really cool. I know we've had some Asian inspired armor sets with Iron Banner in earlier seasons of Destiny 2, but this looks kind of cool. I can't wait to see how Bungie explores different cultures and to be represented in armor sets moving forward.
This tank.
Oh, Cabal love their tanks. Love their tanks. That's a big one, too. That's a big one. Looks like they're on Nessus right there, looking at the background. Oh, speaking of the background, go back a little bit more. So, where in the tower are we in that shot?
Has emerged as the new face of their empire and demanded I pledge loyalty to her.
I just missed it. That's a real nice shot of the armor. So we see the Vanguard drapes in the back, like right here and on the side. But we are in... Can't really tell. Obviously high up in the tower somewhere. If you guys have any ideas of where this is located in the last city, again, drop it in the comments. All right, moving on. But yeah, they love their tanks. What is it? The arms dealer took place in all sorts of Cabal locations. Took out 2 tanks during it. And the infamous strike in Destiny 1, we've stepped into a war with the Cabal, took place with a monster tank as a mini-boss. Oh god, that thing was brutal. You really had to use your cover when fighting that tank. So yeah, Cabal and their massive machinery, that's to be expected.
This tank is like a living thing. She breathes.
So interesting. So the strike is going to take place on this tank. Obviously there's a Cabal tank that we have blown up many a tanks in our day. Many a tank. So it looks like we're going to be spending a lot of time on this new Cabal moving fortress, as it was referred to as. So looking forward to blowing that up. Back that up just one frame or so. There we go. All right, so this is interesting. Don't know where we are here, because those statues of the Cabal, definitely saw those on the Leviathan. So don't know if we're going back to the Leviathan, but that looks definitely like it could be. I see some rubble in the background. Not sure what that banner is right in this area, right in the middle. Haven't really seen that. I could be mistaken. I'm not a huge raiding person. I'm definitely a baby raider, because I just don't have enough time being a father and working full time on the day job and stuff like that. But I've played a lot of Menagerie. Really enjoyed the Menagerie. And this is definitely the type of background and grand hallway that you would see on the Leviathan. So maybe it's coming back this season. It would be nice. I've enjoyed it. New areas opened up, or maybe Caiatl has taken it over, done some redecorating. I don't know. We'll see.
And she will spit out your bones.
All right, so we got the new exotic bow that's coming through, and I did a little bit of reading on it. It looks like it's going to shoot out multiple solar arrows with tracking, and we saw that in the clip just before this, that you can, with one draw, you'll shoot out multiple, strike multiple targets. And I'm looking at the armor now. I am not feeling those pom-poms, those palms on top of the helmet and shoulder pads. Not really sure what that whole purpose is. Not feeling it personally. But if that's the worst thing that happens this season, I guess we're doing all right. Ooh, this is what I wanted to talk about. This is gonna make me smile. I'm already smiling thinking about what I'm gonna say in these next couple of parts. There we have Sepik Prime. So this is the Devil's Lair strike. This is what you're going to see at the end of the strike. And what's great about this strike is that it is so basic. It is so run-of-the-mill. You're going to drop into an area, run through the patrol zone, shoot up some baddies, and then you're going to go against a spider tank as a mid-strike boss. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Bungie brings all this old legacy content up to date. Because if we were to roll into that strike with our current loadout, with all our new supers and, welding the darkness, and we have so many exotics to choose from. So many exotics, so many different mods. We didn't have mods back in Destiny 1. So our loadouts can be very fine-tuned to exactly what we want to build and what we're looking to achieve. That if they were to just bring this old content back in its original state with the new mechanics of Destiny 2, I mean, the class abilities like the Warlock Rift, the Titan Barrier, and I mean, Hunters had the dodge roll, but only if they were using their Night Stalker subclass. And now they just added that to all Hunters. All of those class abilities are new to Destiny 2. So we have a lot more abilities, we have more supers, we have more powerful supers, we have so many more powerful synergies between abilities and loadouts. I'm really looking forward to see how they update all this legacy content to make it relevant again. But back to the strike. This is Sepik Prime, and it is the Prime servitor that was serving the House of Devils. So House of Devils is no more. So don't know how they're going to shoehorn this strike into the current Destiny 2 world state, but that's another thing that we'll see. This guy, all right, that's the Saber 2 strike, and this is the end boss. Yeah, this heavy Shank was quite a beast when we first got it. Also, the mid-level, the mid-strike challenge was defending a Warsat against the Hive, and it was brutal. It made lots of people quit. If this strike was the Nightfall for the week, it was brutal because you had so many enemies cascading down upon you, both Fallen and Hive, and lots of Hive ships and Elixni catches firing down on you from up high. There was very little cover. It made a lot of people rage quit during that strike. But in this room, once you get to the Saber 2, and this is what the heavy shanks are based off of. So before the heavy shanks were, public event bosses, it was a strike boss. And this is the originator of that. And, well, that's interesting. So this is the first time I saw this. Is this Shank being piloted? Can't really tell. Have to back that up a little bit. Maybe, maybe not. I don't. Is that a better shot of it? Anyway, I don't think it's being piloted. But this Shank will go through the 3 different light classes, subclasses, or elements, if you will. Kind of like in the inverted Spire Strike, it will go through the different phases. This Saber Strike will do the same thing, and each time the Shank goes into a new element type, the boss room, the boss arena will change with new barriers being introduced or taken away. So that was a lot of fun to do. What you're going to want to look out for are additional sniper and tracer Shanks descending from the ceiling in the ceiling vents, because they'll be able to shoot you over any cover that you're trying to hide behind. So definitely have someone who's on Shank duty and ad clearing. All right. All right, so now it looks like we're going to get a quick view of the seasonal activity. So it looks like we're really just kind of rummaging through. Is that Europa? Looks like we're just plowing through a Cabal on Europa, which, hey, I'm cool with that. I don't mind having tons of enemies to shoot at, working our way through a bit of a gauntlet. Not sure what those giant things are in the background. That guy right there. Obviously, we'll see what that is. But, hey, a Horde mode seasonal activity. Could be fun. Could be fun. So this looks like it's on Earth somewhere. I don't know if it's the EDZ or the Cosmodrome, but I'm also really liking that Hunter's outfit. Don't know if that might be the seasonal, might be the Eververse one. Don't know. Looks pretty cool though. Almost looks like the Dragonfly from way earlier in the game. So it looks like we might have different maps or different locations where this seasonal activity will be taking place.
Be our champion.
I'll sharpen my gilded knife.
Oh, whatever.
And see you both on the battlefield.
Bring the ruckus. I really enjoy these action shots of slow motion, firing the weapons, raiding the weapons, taking down the enemies just in rapid succession. I've always enjoyed those destruction montages.
There's no light here.
So Osiris says there's no light here. And I can't really tell where he is. So it looks like a Cabal ship. Looks like a very large Cabal ship. Almost, actually, I'm certain of it because that looks like the same ship that kind of crashed into Oryx's Dreadnought back in Destiny 1 that served as a beachhead. So it's definitely a Cabal ship. I see a landing bay on the lower side of it. You can see the supports on either side, and there's a bit of a light coming out of there, but he's saying there's no light here. So it'll be interesting to see what we have going on with this Cabal ship. And there was some Cabal text that splashed in front. See if I can get a... Oh, right there in the preview. Of course, I can't read Cabal, so don't know what that actually means. Has anyone really deciphered Cabal symbols? I know it will show the ammo count if you're using the Skyburner's Oath. And that allows people to know at least Cabal numbers, what their numbers look like in relation to our numbers. Now, if they use a base 10 system, I don't know, but it's something for us to go on. But these symbols that are shown in the preview, if I click, will I get it? No, of course not. All right, so more proof that it's a Cabal ship because we have more Cabal writing in the lower left-hand side.
There's no light here.
And there you have it. It is the Season of the Chosen for Destiny 2, February 9th through May 11th. We get a nice close-up look at Caiatl, and as you can see right in the top, that's going to be our seasonal logo. Oh, also interesting, we actually get to see her eyes. Most Cabal masks cover the entire face. Huh. Also, again, looks like the tusks are part of the mask itself or the helmet itself as opposed to actually being a part of Caiatl or her biology. So it looks like the tusks are ornamental. She looks pissed. And of course, there's Zavala just kind of doing his Zavala stance. All right, and that looks like that's all we've got for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video and like to hear more videos like this about Destiny lore and various other topics, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell also so that you don't miss any of my content. If you'd like to support the channel but can't think of anything to leave as a comment, leave the word chosen as the name of the season currently on the horizon for us. Once again, thank you so much for watching. This is Hypersyntax for Video Game Crosstalk. And until next time, I'll see you in the tower.